just really proud of my team. Happy for them, the way they played. I like the complementary nature of the game where all sides were contributing. Like the resiliency. Really was encouraged by the execution of 4-minute offense and us maintaining and holding on to the ball, and really nice run by Devin at the end. It was just a fitting way, in contrast to the week before, for us to finish a game, which is what's necessary to win conference championships and to play postseason. It's regardless of the scenario you're in. You're prepared and capable and you execute, which is great. And so, looking forward to a really meaningful game in November, second to last game, and our team has earned that chance. I think they're looking forward to playing, and I wouldn't count us out.
Randolph broke the rock after the San Diego State win. For a guy that wasn't playing game in and game out football at this time last year, for him to kind of be in a position where he does lead the defense with that effort. Just what growth have you seen from him since he came in at this point?
So I think Randolph, what's allowed him to grow as he came in, grateful. Gratitude is maybe his strongest suit. So he came in grateful and humble. And wow, when you add that to effort, which he has, and enough ability, he's just continued to learn and grow and play better and better. And I would say his running mate, Dimitri, the two inside linebackers, I would say those two positions have continued, probably more than any other position defensively, have just continued to improve and improve and improve and improve. Very few step backs with them. So I'm not saying that they're the same person, but that position is continuing to grow and become, and we continue to look for ways to give them their best chance to make plays. And really proud of him.
Another linebacker, Colby Brewer. I believe he brought out one of the flags ahead of the game too. Obviously was stationed in San Diego when he was with the Navy too. I'm assuming that was something planned out, but how did you guys kind of plan that out?
It's a remarkable story. I think Colby's the oldest player in college football, and so has a career in the Special Forces. And then, as with most Special Forces personnel, they retire pretty early. And his passion to chase his dream of college football, he wasn't finding many opportunities, most just saying no before even considering based on his age. I didn't see a reason to say no. I saw a reason to say yes, admiring just someone willing to pursue atypically what they really are passionate about. And it made a lot of sense, even though Colby's role on the field and playing isn't significant. His influence on our program is significant, and his leadership is. What we call our fourth side, which are the players that aren't playing, and how they support our team. Colby is probably the leader, and maybe the best leader that I've had in any program I've coached, leading that group. When you consider his background and that his investment of just cheering and encouraging his teammates from the sideline, that's impressive. And so it seemed that after being stationed in San Diego for 8 years, that it would be a nice way for me to acknowledge him and his effort for our program and provide a special moment that he's earned to carry our colors out for that game in front of whomever was there on his behalf, and if not, just for us to acknowledge him. I think it was the right thing to do, and it was a pretty special moment.
Coach, obviously a lot of excitement with the way the defense played. Hearing Randolph talk after the game, he seemed very excited and confident, but just talk about your confidence that you see in them going up against a ranked opponent with an offense that has a lot of weapons and a great quarterback in the tier.
Yeah, Washington State's a good team. They're just, no offense to anyone, they're the next team that we play to improve our program. And I know you've heard me say that before, and you're probably like, when is that going to change? Never. It's the next game for our team to improve. Ranked, really cool. Their record, awesome. We're still trying to keep playing, and we need to win to keep playing, and our team wants to do that. They feel momentum. They feel themselves getting better, and they've earned the chance, to have a meaningful game still at the end of the year. And that's a powerful thing, not only in Albuquerque, but anywhere. And so I think they sense opportunity. I think they sense a moment, and rightly so.
And Coach, I know you've talked about playing meaningful games in November, and you said about getting better each week, and you would like to have gone faster, like quicker. That's what everyone hopes for. But did you picture that this team would be playing this way right now? And have you just kind of talk from a broad perspective about how much this team has improved, that you've seen the improvement,
So did I envision that the team could be in this position? That's yes. And from team meeting 1, maybe 2, from the very beginning, I believe that this team was capable to challenge for postseason in year 1, which is where they are. Gosh, a couple close ones that we'd love to have back, but it's exactly where we are. I'm not so sure you can convince me or our team that we won't be with anybody the last drive of any game, no matter where we play. And I think they see it. I see it. I think anyone that's really paying attention to our team sees it. But yes, was it seen? Was it acknowledged as possible? Totally. And it's where we are.
So the 51-yard and a 68-yard run in the first quarter, a lot of things I would have to imagine go right for them, and great run and all that kind of stuff. Like what are the things that you saw that were so effective for those big long runs?
San Diego State's a very good defensive team. So I was impressed not only before we played, but during the game. They're physical and they're athletic and they have good personnel, and the scheme is well thought out. And they did some things that really challenged us. Luckily, through our execution, we found edges early on. And again, on their field, if you make one person miss or slip, and you got a chance. And that's all it took, is we got to an edge. An unblocked player still on any field against a good back is difficult. On that field, even more difficult. And we were able to have that matchup twice, where we got to an edge, an unblocked player, but in space against a good back. And that really helped. San Diego State adjusted, did a really nice job from then on. We started fast and adjusted, I think, pretty quickly in the first quarter to what they were doing, and then they caught up.
And at the same time, the play call that was made, obviously with the defense, all that, those are two examples of that stuff coming together.
Yeah, I think we're capable, and I think we're explosive offensively, and I think at any time there's a lot of different players, a little bit more limited now through injury, but there's a lot of different players that can contribute, but primarily our quarterback. And so, but Coach Beck has done a nice job the entire year play calling wise, and it's a really good win.
We've talked a lot this year about how dynamic Devin is in Washington State. Jared just touched on it as a guy in a very similar mold. Number 10, John Mateer, very accurate passer. When he gets downhill, he's tough to stop. Sounds familiar to a degree. When you are playing a guy like that, what are the things that you stress?
It's a challenge because a quarterback that's able to create and able to run challenges your defensive numbers. So anytime you want to play zone or play man free or have anyone extra, that's a challenge when the quarterback's a runner, because that means now every other defensive player will have to beat a block to make a play. There are no unblocked players when the quarterback's the runner. And so, that forces matchups that sometimes aren't in your favor. Sometimes you have to be more aggressive, sometimes you're less aggressive, but that has to be a moving target. So not only does he run well, he throws well, much like Devin, and that's, I think, has a lot to do with their success, but their scheme overall is very, very good offensively, same defensively. A year ago, when I was hosting a podcast, I interviewed Washington State's head coach, was super impressed at that point, and the way his team plays reflects that.
From your view, is he kind of the closest to a true dual threat guy, true dual threat quarterback you guys have played this year since really Malott with Montana State?
Yeah, I think so. For our schedule for this year, I would say that's the case. While there isn't much, there's some zone read, and while there's not much option or et cetera, there are certainly quarterback designed runs. He's confident. he's earned the right to be confident through how he runs and how he throws and their team's success. And it's fun to watch. He does a nice job.
And is there like a sense of familiarity when you're watching them and you see the kind of trust and confidence they have in him with that offense?
Yeah, it looks, again, comparisons aren't ever accurate nor fair, but good quarterbacks that can create are, man, some coordinators know how to use them well and others don't. And they do, and so do we.
Coach, on the defensive side, you seem to be much more aggressive on defense. It seems there was much more improvement. Do you attribute that to more matching up well with San Diego State? I noticed you're going with more 3-down linemen versus the 4. Was that based on injuries, personnel? It just seemed like you guys did much better on defense against this team.
Yeah, I think we played strong defense. Right personnel, right scheme, right opponent. But more than anything, the right execution and the right mindset and the right consistency. There were 99 snaps on defense. Some were penalty snaps. For 16 points on 99 snaps, I'm not sure that's getting enough. That's hard to do. That's about 20-ish or 25 more than normal. And to manage the points is pretty challenging. The consistency that required, pretty remarkable, and that's probably what I'm most proud of. And so players deserve a lot of credit. They're working really hard in practice and have worked really hard. Not only those that are playing the majority of the amount, but backups as well. And we saw that had to happen in terms of depth, which is pretty typical in games 11 and 12 or games 10, 11, and 12, and it will be moving forward.
Coach, that's what I wanted to ask about, especially the depth was tested in the secondary, and players like Drew Speech and Javonte Royal and Skylar Cook and Cam Watts, and I'm not going to be able to mention everybody, but the way they stepped up when you took some hits in the secondary was amazing. What did you think of their play?
Invaluable. It reflects their preparation. Their preparation reflects their commitment, and a lot of folks aren't as committed when they're not featured. Younger folks and older folks, right? They're not as committed if they're not featured and not getting all the attention. What's fun is when their number is called and now they have the attention and they have the spotlight, that it reflects, and they play so well that it reflects their commitment. There's powerful lessons in that for everybody. And so they've been laboring without being seen, and then called on and needed 2, 3, or 4 of them at once. And I'm not sure we noticed a difference. And that's powerful.
You talked last week about how the short week was kind of a blessing in the sense that you guys couldn't linger really at all after the Wyoming game. To have a little bit of a longer week and I've been able to pass the test against San Diego State, does it feel like that's kind of helped foster confidence or momentum, that little bit extra time?
Yeah, I'm not sure the extra time, but just simply the way we played. And that's fostered the confidence and the momentum and gives us a chance to leverage our schedule to be basically a day ahead of a normal game week. And so much like last week, I thought fit our team at that time for that opponent really well and needed. Same for this week. This game after a Friday night game gives us a chance for an extra day, which really helps. And doesn't mean I'm crazy about Saturday night play in November, late November. But I am excited that there's only one reason games get moved to Saturday night in November, and that's because people want to watch. And what a huge opportunity for our program.
Luwan Owens, Mountain West Freshman of the Week this week. Kind of rare that you see offensive linemen get the honor in some ways too. How have you seen him develop since he was kind of thrust in at that Auburn game? Yeah,
really cool. So one of the players that we added late of the 17 we added after spring practice, and that's really difficult to get a great evaluation and a really good player that you can acclimate that soon. And to be honest, he probably wouldn't be in this position without injury. That we did evaluate him correctly, that he has acclimated that fast, and he has played that well this long. I think maybe the recognition was as much a result of from Auburn till now as it was that particular game. And Famika, our coach, and I, has done a really nice job.
Coach, you said after this past game, it's been a while since UNM's beat San Diego State, and it's been even longer since UNM has beat a ranked opponent. Do you kind of address that with the players, or do you think that adds a little extra fire coming into this game?
Yeah, I always address things like that because if I don't, someone else will. And I'd rather just control the context from a trusted source and a source that the motive is to help them perform better and to keep them on track and to keep them driven and to keep them executing well and to keep things in perspective. So absolutely it'll be addressed. And then it'll be applied just to winning the game and playing as well as we can. Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about rivalry games, and you happened to mention that BYU-Utah was pretty good rivalry game as well. And, boy, it lived up to the hype.
Yeah, I don't know what words to use regarding that game other than it's unlike anything that exists on the planet. How about that?
Threw me off. Yeah, a little bit on Jared's point too. I mean, you've talked a lot about, wanting to build a good home field advantage here, and you have to build that. It just doesn't happen when you do have a ranked team coming to town. And I mean, I don't think you guys are, but are you kind of pinpointing that as, hey, this is a big opportunity to kind of put that process in motion?
Yeah, it's a big opportunity, but it's also the next opportunity. And to say or to downplay that, number one, it's not fair, it's not right, nor is it accurate. This is the University of New Mexico fighting for postseason eligibility against a ranked opponent at home, and it's game 11. How could you downplay that? Now that we've acknowledged it, we just play football and prepare and improve our team. And so, and I don't know, just to be clear, I never know the last time or how many times or years it's been since we beat an opponent until Frank tells me, and that's usually after the game. And so in this case, now I know before the game, so we're talking about it now, and then I won't talk about it again after today's team meeting. However long it's been, which Frank sent me the statistics and I don't remember them.
Saturday is also senior night, correct? To have this group of seniors that you came in with, I mean, it really inherited in some ways too. I mean, what does that mean to you to kind of send them off?
Yeah, they have a special place for me and in my heart. And yeah, I can't ask anything else of them. This team hasn't balked at anything I've asked them to do. And they just keep hoping and believing and working and hoping and believing and working and hoping and believing and working. And really fun to see enough success for them to acknowledge that and to motivate them and to feel a sense of accomplishment, which, yeah, we're not done.
Are you expecting to get Derek, Bryson, Poligate, or Kyler back for Saturday?
I don't know. Thank you all.
Thanks, Coach.